Hey everybody, welcome back to the Mass Retirees Weekly Update. Today's Friday, November 11th. I'm Sean Duhamel. Thank you so much for joining with us again this week. Before I get going, let me first say Happy Veterans Day to those of you who are veterans of our armed services. We appreciate your service. As you may know, Mass Retirees, going all the way back to 1968, has focused heavily on representing our veterans, making sure that our veterans are not forgotten. We've worked to honor your service to our nation and honor your service to the public. Once you returned home and went to either back to work or to work for the public entity that you retired from. And we've continued to honor those traditions to this very day. You may know that we have several pieces of legislation that we are actively working on, whether it's to increase the veterans bonus, expand the definition of veterans, or working to improve and modify the process that's been in existence now for about 20 years that will or does allow active employees who are veterans to buy back up to 4 years of military service. That system is a little bit unfair and it's kind of convoluted, and there's a concerted effort underway right now that's being led by the Public Employee Retirement Administration Commission, PERAC, along with the unions and our association and others. The local retirement boards through MACRIS are involved to try to improve that process, and we're very hopeful that legislation that is now pending, I believe, before the state Senate may actually pass in the remaining 6 or 7 weeks of this legislative session. What we are going to focus on moving forward is refiling any of our bills, including our veterans legislation that doesn't pass by the end of this year, and working to really prioritize a handful of issues going forward into the next session. And veterans benefits, and working with State Senator John Vilas, who, by the way, was one of our guests a week ago out in West Springfield at our area meeting. We had a fantastic turnout on the grounds of the Big E. So thank you, Senator Vilas and Representative Mike Finn. Incoming State Senator Jake Oliveira was present. He's state representative, and he was just elected this week to the state Senate. So we really are excited to move forward into the next legislative session in prioritizing things like the veterans bonus, COLAs, and we will be making some announcements in that regard in the coming weeks and certainly in the January newsletter. But before I transition and talk about some other activities that we're focused on, let me first remind everybody that a week from today, on Friday, November 18th at 11 a.m., we will be holding a members-only area meeting at White's of Westport. We are very excited to return to White's. White's has been the traditional South Coast meeting location of Mass Retirees for more than 30 years. I am now celebrating my 28th year working for all of you. My anniversary here is coming up in a couple of weeks, but for as long as I've been here and as long as anyone else can remember, we have been holding our area meetings on the South Coast at White's. We haven't been able to get back down there in the past few years because of the pandemic, but we will be back again November 18th, 11 a.m. Members, and you're welcome to bring a guest. It is typically one of our higher turnout meetings, and as someone who was born in the city of Taunton, I am very excited to get back down to the South Coast and see some of my old friends, including State Senator Mark Pacheco is planning on attending from Taunton. Unfortunately, Senator Rodricks, who represents Westport, couldn't make it, but we're hoping to get Mike Rodricks there at a future time. So if you are in the Fall River, New Bedford, Taunton area next week, please come on over, say hello. It's a good turnout, it's a great time, and we're really looking forward to seeing all of you. So our final meeting of the year will be next month on Friday, December 16th in Auburn at the Auburn Elks. We will be making announcements by the end of this year in terms of area meetings that you can look forward to taking place starting in early 2023. We're now making those types of plans, deciding where we want to try to get back to, in addition to maybe some new meeting locations that make it a little bit more convenient for our members to attend. So let me shift now back to what's happening here in Massachusetts and what we are now planning for in the coming weeks as the legislative session winds down for 2022, and we're really looking forward to what's going to come in 2023 and beyond. Now, as all of you know, this past Tuesday was Election Day. Here in Massachusetts, almost every endorsed candidate by Mass retirees was successful and won their election on Tuesday. We are very excited to start the new legislative session. We have 4 brand new statewide constitutional office holders because of open seats. All 6 constitutional officers who will take office in January were endorsed by Mass retirees. All 6 of these individuals, as we have explained before, are people that we have worked closely with over the years, that we have very good working relationships with, and are folks that we believe understand public service, understand public retirement issues, and really want to try to work with us to improve and better the lives of public retirees. Because after all, that's what this is all about. So whether it's incoming governor, Governor-elect Maura Healey, Lieutenant Governor-elect Kim Driscoll, Attorney General-elect Andrea Campbell, Auditor-elect Diana DiZoglio, along with State Treasurer Deb Goldberg, who was just reelected to a 3rd term. And by the way, congratulations, Madam Treasurer. You were the highest vote getter in Massachusetts with almost 77% of the vote, which is just unheard of. It just goes to show how much the public appreciates the fact that the Treasurer is doing the day-to-day work that she does and the impact that she has on the Commonwealth. And we're delighted to work with you again going forward. And of course, we're also very much looking forward to continuing to work with Secretary of State Bill Galvin, who has long been a close friend and ally of Mass retirees. So together, this group of individuals across the board, every one of these offices has an impact on the day-to-day work we do. Now, obviously, the treasurer in her role as the chairperson of the State Retirement Board and as the chairperson of the Pension Reserves Investment Trust Fund, which invests the lion's share of pension assets here in Massachusetts, she plays a direct day-to-day role in the success of public retirees, and particularly when it comes to your pensions. But whether it be the governor, the lieutenant governor, the auditor, the attorney general, the secretary of state, all of these individuals do have a direct and profound impact on our association, on you, on our proposals. And we're really looking forward to having a group of people that we know, that we trust, and who trust us, and that we can sit down with them, just like we have done in the past, and make the best case to why things like the basic life insurance should be increased, or the COLA base for state and teacher retirees, or going forward, some of the pressures that we're going to feel when it comes to medical inflation. It's no secret that all across the country, the costs of health insurance and medical care is rising once again. Part of that has to do with just general inflation, but part of it is specific to medical inflation. And it is important that we have elected officials in place that aren't going to simply make the choice to force you to pay more or force you to accept cuts to your benefits as the easy way out in terms of saving money. Now, at times, those types of things could be unavoidable. You know, we're all paying a lot for our benefits. I think all of us understand that. But we don't want elected officials in place that their first reaction is going to be, hey, let's make retirees pay more, let's just cost shift, or we're going to cut back on benefits. That's not the situation that we're going to have going forward. Now, of course, all that being said, there is no such thing as a free lunch or a rubber check. We're not going into this new legislative session with the expectation that we're going to get everything we want, because that's not realistic. But at the end of the day, we're going to have the opportunity to make our case, put our best foot forward, and have a voice at the table when it comes to policies that impact public retirees. And that's exactly what we're going to have going forward, whether it's with the legislative leadership or the statewide constitutional office holders. These are all folks who are friendly to retirees, want to do good by all of you, and are folks that most importantly that we can work with going forward. So for those of you who took the time to vote in this past election, thank you so much. Not beyond the fact that it's our responsibility in a democracy to participate in elections, the fact that our members vote at such a high level really makes a difference in terms of our ability to advocate on your behalf. And it makes my job as your representative that much easier going forward. Not that it's easy, but the fact that you turn out and vote and that your voices are being heard, that really goes a long way toward us being successful on your behalf. So thank you for that. I'm looking forward to seeing many of you in the next couple of weeks at our area meetings. We will be posting information about our upcoming virtual town hall event on January 20th. It will feature the Group Insurance Commission talking about the plan design changes and some of the specifics that are coming to your health insurance benefits for the coming year. So again, that's on Friday, January 20th at 1 o'clock. But our area meetings, the start times are always going to be 11 a.m. So again, thank you so much. Enjoy this lovely fall weather, and we will be back to you again next week with a new update. Take care, everybody.